So this definitely tastes like hot chocolate that's sat out and has gotten cold. But I see how it can solve problems, I guess. Hi guys, it's Marie again, and I did a video just discussing a little bit about the last Signed Sealed Delivered installment, and it has ended up being my most viewed video. So thank you so much for that, Postables. So I thought I would do it again. I just wanted to discuss what I thought about it. I think that Lost Without You so far has been probably my all-time favorite installment of this whole series so far. Even the, much more over even all the episodes of the season that they did, or any other movies, the pilot, the Christmas one. I love them all, but Lost Without You, it kind of blew me away, and I guess that's the best way to describe it. For me, I guess one of the reasons is I reflect with it so much, and I guess I'll get to that moment. I'm going to start off a little bit lighter, I think, and then get a little bit heavier, kind of like the movie was. First off the bat, the thing I thought was like the weirdest was that Joe O'Toole was part of the postal system commercial. Was he not part of FedEx? Did he not retire from FedEx? Why did they put the FedEx guy in the USPS commercial? That was a little weird to me. And then to top it off, when he's talking to the kid about, the package that was run over, stuck in a bike chain, covered in peanut butter, the little kid says, "Can you really deliver it?" And Joe O'Toole says, "If they can't, no one can." What about FedEx? Didn't you work for FedEx? Like, how long did you work for FedEx before you retired? Are you, no longer a loyalist at all? I'm really confused by that. I almost feel like that whole part of that should have been an Oliver line, shouldn't have it? I mean, Oliver's the one who's loyal. I mean, I guess we've kind of all gotten over the Joe O'Toole is a traitor to FedEx thing. I mean, we're done with that. That's not a big deal anymore, but it's just weird to me. The first thing I did when Norman was offered the job of communications liaison in Postal Heritage, first thing I did was Google it to see if it was a real job. And, I couldn't really find anything, so I'm kind of sad that it might not be a real job. Because I might have considered a career path change at that point. But what's interesting, what I did actually find, is the Postal Museum is looking for a new director. That's kind of up my alley. I'm actually planning on going to grad school for musology in the next few years. I'm kind of sad that I don't have the qualifications for that yet. That'd be a dream job for me. That'd definitely be a dream job for Norman too, I think. I wonder if he knows. But I don't think he wants to leave Rita quite yet, huh? Something else I thought was kind of weird and interesting was at one point when they're examining the package, he it's stuck in his bike chain, but Oliver smelled the package. He actually just, smelled it, the oils on it, and he was like, "Oh, bike chain." That's some Sherlock Holmes stuff right there. Oliver just has this smell sense of all these different greases and oils and can figure out by smell what grease it's from. I don't know if that's awesome or weird. Do you smell your packages normally? I guess he has before. I think the funniest line from this whole installment, I would have to say, my vote is when they're talking about bucket lists and Shane says, "People have bucket lists," and Norman says, "No, I don't have a bucket list, but I do have a list of buckets." Oh, classic Norman. Probably my second favorite funny line, of course, was probably one that everyone kind of loved is when Norman asks Rita if she thinks that Dale is wearing her gun under her choir robe. And Rita says, no, probably not. Too hard to sing when you're packing. I wonder how Rita knows that. That's what I want to know. Like, does Rita try to sing and pack at the same time? Of course, the whole movie, probably the funniest sequence of the movie, hands down, was when Norman and Rita are eating all the peppers and Norman comes screaming out of the last one. It's just so funny. People are making memes out of it, from what I understand, and way too funny. Like, Jeff Gustafson, is it Geoff or Jeff? I guess I don't know how to pronounce it, but he is such a talented actor. This whole cast is just so talented and so versatile, and I love seeing him. I also watched Once Upon a Time, and I loved him as Stealthy as well, and this installment was really heavy on discussing faith and God and the interception of God through the postal mail, which I thought was really interesting. I joke around that Jesus was a carpenter, but God by profession is a postman. Because in my experience through postal mail, there's always been an interception with God in so many cases. Personally, on my personal level, there's been a few times where I've sent something and gotten feedback that this was something that was really needed to be done. I swap a lot, not as much now as I used to, but I've been swapping on swapbot.com for many years now, a few years now. And a few months ago, about the time I started this channel actually, I was kind of starting to get a little bit depressed and down, and I wanted someone or something to just reach out and tell me everything was going to be okay, and I just wanted to know that somebody was there. And you know, I'm saying this out loud to you now, but I really couldn't ask for help, I guess, and my go-to has always been the postal mail. Always been, because this is obviously a huge part of my life. And so on swapbot.com, I started this series called Brighten My Week Note Card. Very simple swap. You just, a note card, write a little message, put a little gift in there, and then send it once a week. And I had, you know, this going. And I just now ended it because the time management isn't working out. I want to put more time on this channel and more time on my schooling, but I mean, that's a whole nother story. But I did this for about 6 months, and it was so incredible because I knew that I was not the only one that was feeling lonely and who needed a little extra kick. And almost every week I would send these cards, and some of the feedback, 9 times out of 10, I get the feedback that what I wrote inside was what was needed to be heard. Like, there was something going on, and this is what they needed to hear. And it was so strange to me because I always, when I would sit down and write them, I would just kind of think about the person that I was assigned to and think about you know, what was going on in my life, and try to come up with something and write it down in this card that felt like it was right. And it's this divine intervention of, you know, what I just thought was just, oh, this popped into my head. There's definitely another force working there, in my opinion. And one of the biggest things, not that long ago actually, I just did a specifically Christian swap, sort of on the same level but a little bit more. It's you buy a gift for your partner, and then you write a little prayer in there for them, and it was a specifically Christian swap. And so like a week before that I was supposed to send it, I actually, for the first time in my life, got a driver's license. Yes, I'm 25. I have had a driver's license for like 3 weeks now, to a month now. Now I can't even remember how long ago it was. But I was in a car accident when I was 14, and that made me scared to death of driving, and I was never got my driver's license. And I'm not blaming my brother. My brother was the one who was driving when we got in the accident. I'm not blaming him because it was not his fault. I mean, accidents happen. But my brother was somebody who I felt was incredibly gifted and talented and skilled at driving, and he got us in an accident, and so I was terrified of driving for over 10 years. And then push came to shove, my schedule and Big E's schedule weren't working around, and he couldn't drive me around anymore. And so I made the decision that it's now or never. My social anxiety is on a low, and my confidence level is super high, and I was like, gotta do it now. And I got it. I got my driver's license, and I conquered, and I was so proud of myself. And so when it came time to send the swap, I wrote about that, and I just wished this person well about, if there's something you need, conquer it. If I conquered this, you can conquer whatever, and remember who is on your side. Remember who's on your side. And the feedback I got was incredible, and there is something big that's going on, and I needed that. I needed to hear that. And so Jesus was a carpenter, but God is the postman. The big theme of this whole show is what Shane is calling Oliver's divine delivery theory, which is, of course, they don't find the letters find them, and they're not delivered late, they're delivered just on time despite being lost. And so these letters, they're not really dead letters, they're not really lost. There's a higher power working with these letters to find the people that they need to find when they need to be found. And of course, of all the letters and packages that they could have worked with, it was this package. And this package helped them find a rescue dog when they needed a rescue dog. And it was like all these things are working together, and they come together, and this piece of mail saved someone's life. And I know it's fiction, but think about that. This package saved someone's life. And there's just like an incredible thought about how there are times when a letter reaches someone, and that's something that they needed to hear. Maybe they're depressed, suicidal, something, and they get a letter, and that's what they needed to hear, and that's what they needed. There's this higher power working through the mail in order to perform miracles, miracles all together. And I'm just blown away by that. And I actually tweeted out, what do you call it when a rescue dog shows up when you need one? Oliver's divine delivery theory. I actually tweeted that out, and Kristen Booth liked it, and I had a starstruck moment. I was like, Kristen liked my Twitter, my tweet. Is that weird? I was a little starstruck. And then in the end, I was a little bit disappointed that Oliver didn't kiss Shane. The hand kiss just wasn't doing it for me. I know people have some mixed opinions about that. Some people are like, no, they gotta take it slow. They just started dating. They haven't really technically, they went out on their first date, but they're trying to do a redo. So, you gotta take it slow. And I know there's a lot of mixed opinions. My opinion is they could have kissed. I'm glad he's starting to be more honest with her and starting to open up. And he's ready to try other things other than Yoo-hoo. hope Hallmark Movies and Mysteries delivers in 2017. Postables, you know that these stories are not done. We know that they're not done. There's so many more miracles through the mail that are left to perform, and I'm with you on that. In the discussion, guys, I hope that you leave your opinion in the comments for me. I want to know what you guys thought about this latest installment. You can also contact me on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram under Marie Loves Mail. Don't forget to subscribe so you can see more of my postal adventures. And thank you for joining me today. As always, don't forget to send some mail and tell someone you love them.